Sunshine Stitchers.
Everyone.
Yes. Okay.
No, everybody.
Everybody, everybody.
You want everybody or everyone?
It's up to you. It's not
I
my
say
thing.
whatever comes out, so don't try to tell me what to say.
Hi, y'all.
That's him.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
We're the Sunshine Stitchers. I'm EJ.
I'm Gary.
I'm Amy.
Hi, Amy.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Welcome.
All right. Did you and Deb knock off Shelia, or is she just out skirting? I'm kind of worried here. It was like 2 weeks.
I have to tell you, I am so happy to be here.
Oh,
I'm glad you're here.
A little nervous, but totally stoked.
She hasn't killed anyone yet.
Not yet.
But
You
we
met
still
my
don't know where
first.
Shelia
Not that
is.
we know.
Yes. Shelia, yeah. Shelia's having
Actually,
a
we
grand
saw a
old time.
picture. She's
I
at the end of the
know.
world.
I know. That's
Can
amazing.
we post it? Or should we ask?
We'll post it.
Okay.
Who's gonna ask?
That's right.
Ask who? So welcome, Amy. This is Amy's first time here, so she's a little nervous, but she's gonna have a grand old time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then she's going to start her own show.
Yes.
Probably not.
Yeah. What would be the name of your Flosstube?
It would probably match my Instagram.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Which is?
So Instagram is my platform. It is Zippy Zax on Instagram.
Why Zippy Zax?
Because she stitches fast.
Well, it's not because I
see.
stitch fast, and it's not because I run fast either. My dad used to call me Zippy when I was little.
Oh.
Mostly because I was slow.
Oh.
So
one of those ironic names.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
So you've been running since.
Yeah. So my Instagram is mostly about running, and now it's also about cross stitch, and it's sort of making this weird transition back and forth.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what I use.
Cool.
So we're gonna ask you a couple of questions
Okay.
that we always ask our newbies, so
Okay.
everyone can get to know you.
Okay.
First question: how long have you been stitching?
I have been stitching roughly, a number of years. I'm
Okay.
gonna cover my mouth and say it's a number of years. I've been stitching since since I was
good.
since about 1987, actually.
Oh,
See?
okay.
Look at that. Psychic. I knew
Yeah.
87 comes from somewhere.
So I was kind of a sick little girl. I had a lot of breathing problems and couldn't go outside. And I had a friend whose mother did a lot of cross stitch, and I thought it was super cool that she was into the hobby.
Okay.
And she was giving me something to do when I was homesick while she was babysitting for me. So she gave me that. But what's kind of interesting is when I was growing up, my mom had a severe case of psoriasis on her hands, on the palms of her hands.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so she couldn't play with any fibers, she couldn't knit, she couldn't crochet, she couldn't cross stitch. She couldn't do pretty much anything with fiber.
Wow.
And so she sort of lived vicariously through me. She would pick out some projects and give them to me, and I'd work on them, and then cat hair would get stuck in them. And then
Those are
I
called
would miss a
extra
stitch.
fibers.
Yeah.
Specialty.
And that's called personalization?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Creative license.
Yeah.
So eventually I would sort of get tired of them and toss them into a corner. And I was like the queen of starts. Never finishing anything that I started.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I gave up stitching when I was in late high school and stopped until about a year ago. My husband's mom got really, really sick. And when she was in hospice, I was looking for something that I could do, that I could talk to her and listen to the doctors, but still be there and be present. And it's kind of a morbid story, but it's kind of a sweet story. She was on this medication that made her hallucinate pretty badly. And we were on the 5th floor in the middle of a city, nowhere near water. And she kept looking out this window, and she was seeing the reflection of the lights behind us in the hospital room. And she kept thinking that she was seeing like the strobe light of a lighthouse that was outside.
Oh, okay.
And I flew home to take care of a couple of things. And when I was at home, I was going through a closet and I found a kit that I hadn't started. And so I pulled it out and started working on it. I have it here today.
Okay, let's see.
I didn't finish it in time for her to see it.
Oh my goodness.
You get a little
There you go.
There you go.
That's perfect.
That's why I'm in the middle.
She never got to see it finished. She died about 3-4 weeks before it was finished. But we had this framed, and I gave it to my husband, and we put it up in our house.
That is beautiful.
It's a beautiful story.
It is
really
a beautiful
cool.
story.
You know, it's nice that she was seeing something to make her relax.
Yeah.
Calm.
Yeah. And
So you were there. She was there while you were stitching it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we sort of got to share that together towards the end.
That's beautiful.
It's a sweet memory.
That is beautiful. Nice. I like that.
Thank you.
All right. Ooh, what type of stitcher are you? Oh, I already know that answer. Are you a process or a product?
I'm a fast stitcher. Can I say that?
She's faster than me?
She is.
We're way faster than her.
See, why do we have to compare?
It just got real cold in here.
Why do we have to compare?
Frozen.
Okay, Elsa.
I like to stitch, and it's very therapeutic and relaxing for me. But when I finish, I don't really do very much with the finishes. So I don't know what you really call that. I just stitch.
It's kind of a process stitcher, I think.
I think you're a process.
Is it like a mix of the two? Process finisher? Because you like the process of stitching, but you like to finish what you start.
Right.
So you're a completer.
Right.
You might not hang it up because that's not really the joy of it for you. Like
I hang it up.
Not as much as you stitch.
It's just hanging in the closet.
Yeah. I knew that.
Sorry.
You get it framed and put it in the closet.
No, I usually just put them on hangers and put them in the closet.
Okay.
We'll show some later.
Yeah.
Not in the closet.
Okay. What is your fabric preference?
I really like 32 count linen.
Okay.
I'm sort of all over the place with different fabric creators. But I don't really know. I only started using anything other than Ada last Christmas time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's still fairly new to me. I'm still trying to decide what I like.
So you would probably say, when you're looking at the cubby of all fabric sizes and everything, you'd probably be more drawn to color first, then size and type. Right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of me. That's why I'm like, I stitch on what I think goes with that project. So I'm not going to say, ooh, I can't stitch on that because it's 28 count.
Yeah.
Right.
But I know I can't stitch on Ada because
Yes,
I tried it.
you sure
I
can.
tried it with that stocking and that killed me.
Well, I've noticed that the more stitching I'm doing, the harder it is to go back to Ada.
Yeah.
And
Why
so
is that?
I don't know. You think it'd be easier because you don't have to count over two.
Yeah.
But I think it's just the roughness of I like the
feel of it?
tactile of
The
I'm
starch?
a tactile. Maybe.
Could it be the starch?
Could
Like
be the
it's
starch.
heavy stuff.
Yeah.
It's
No.
like that sound.
Yeah.
I love that sound when you're stitching, and you feel very productive with that dark sound.
I think because I did a lot of dimension kits, so you had to do the 6 strands, all that stuff, piercing the to make a quarter stitch and all that. So
Yeah.
my fingers always hurt when I start stitching on Ada.
Uh-huh.
Like 3 stitches in.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like memory.
That means you're doing it right. If it doesn't hurt, you're not
it's like
doing it
memory.
right.
It's more like a memory stitch than like, oh man.
Sorry.
I don't know what she's talking about.
It's okay. We'll tell you later.
Okay.
What?
All these private jokes.
No private joke. So you like linen, or what? Color first,
Color first,
then count,
then count,
and then fabric,
and then fabric.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who is your favorite designer? Oh, I think I know.
Who?
Linen and things?
No.
No, who?
Tracy Horner.
From Ink Circle.
Yes.
You know, I'm afraid she's going to watch this video, and so I don't want to hurt her feelings. She was my favorite, and I still really love her.
I have many favorites.
But I think I'm starting to get more and more of an obsession with the Little House.
Oh.
And I really love Plum Street. So, you know, I brought another Plum Street. I don't know if it's a good time to show it, but
sure.
This is a finish that I did, and it was
That's Plum
totally,
Street?
yeah,
Okay.
it was not within my normal wheelhouse.
This is beautiful.
And they call for fancy flosses,
So this is all DMC?
and that's all DMC.
Okay.
This is
Yeah,
beautiful.
it looks beautiful.
And that's not what I would normally do because I do love the repetitive nature of the ink circles.
Yeah.
And this was so different, but I started it and couldn't put it down.
Sometimes I think it's good to do a palette cleanser between designers because, like, I'll do a lot of mirabilias and then I need something different, so I'll pick up like Plum Street or Rosewood Manor or just anything, or like Raise the Roof or something like that, and because then you get into something different.
Yeah.
Just keeps it different.
Cool.
Is that the last question?
Yeah, that was the last question.
You're asking me. I don't come up with the question.
Yeah, this is the last question.
Okay.
So your grade is
she got a A-.
That was an A.
Are you
I would like to see
arguing
a
with the
rubric.
teacher?
I would like to see a rubric.
an A- is still an A.
But I'm not going to get that 4.0.
That's
And on a weighted scale, it's going to hurt.
All right,
Okay.
so let's talk about finishes. So we're going to see some of Amy's finishes. We're going to talk about it, and then, yeah, it's going to be great.
Yeah. So enjoy.
So this is the Templar Prophecy by Long Dog Sampler. I started it as a birthday start in September, September 20th, somewhere around there, and finished it right before Christmas. I was absolutely terrified because there's that date that's right there in the center, and I put in the date, and then I couldn't figure out like if I would have to rip it out if I didn't finish it in 2019, and I thought that I would have to, I guess, redo it if I went over into 2020. All that back stitch at the top was to accommodate for the negative space stitching.
This is absolutely beautiful.
That's
Do you know the color name?
The color was a cone of DMC. It was I want to say 318 maybe. I'm not sure that it was entirely the legal DMC. I think it might have been a knockoff because it started to shred a little bit when I was using the floss. I got better needles and I started using wax, and it held up a little bit better.
And is that Krynic?
The gold is Diamant by DMC, which is really hard to work with. And I think if I had to use gold again, I might use the Treasure braid.
It's absolutely beautiful.
It also has backstitch in 310.
Okay.
This is the Weaver's Bird Sampler Sal that was done by Magical Sals. It is released in parts, 12 parts. The person who created the pattern, she gives you the border right before Christmas time and then releases a piece of the pattern in about 22 lines at a time so that you can work on it throughout the year. It is a free pattern. You just have to go back to her blog and pick it up once a month. She releases on the first Tuesday of the month, and she just started a new one, and I'll be showing that a little later.
So what is the thread?
The thread is Coloris 4515. I think they call it Paris.
Oh, nice.
And the fabric is a 25 count even weave. This was my first time using even weave, and I fell in love with it.
And you started not with the loop method, huh?
No loop method.
Thank you.
And the last big piece that I want to show you is the Linens and Threads 2019 Mystery Sal. I really like these mystery sals. They give you the one piece. You don't really know what you're looking at or what you're working with, and it builds over time. They release this mystery sal through the Linens and Thread website. The first installation is always on the first of the month in January. Brendan, he gave us the Peacock at first, and then added to it every month. So first you got the Peacock, then you got this set of borders that's in here, then you got this one, right around on the inside. Then you got this outside one and these butterflies. His charts are pretty cool because they're charted all in one color, but people get super creative, and sometimes you'll see anything from a variegated color or a one single floss to something with 5 or 6 flosses to something with 60, 70 colors in it. So it's really a cool way to see people express themselves in a colorful way.
Do you know what colors you used?
I have no clue.
Really?
They're I don't even remember. No, I do. I have it written down somewhere.
Okay.
I can give it to you and you can pop it into the video.
Sure. That is so beautiful. How many butterflies now?
Too many. Too many. So
that is a quantity, guys.
I got this. This was the 11th month release, this outside border. And for me, the gap here was too much and I didn't trust myself because I had to frog this inside border a couple of times when I miscounted. So I actually left the 11th month and did the 11th and 12th month at the same time to make sure that my spacing was right. And I worked on the butterflies, and then I was doing each individual butterfly a color, and then my husband suggested that I do it in this weird 4-color thing, which looks really cool, but is way more time consuming than I ever thought that it was going to be. I worked on those butterflies forever. I never wanted to see another one of those butterflies.
Isn't it on the next Sal?
And it is on the next Sal. And the very first page of the very next Sal is the exact same butterfly. I could have done that one in my sleep.
I love it.
So this is, if you look at this picture, if you're a big fan of The Princess Bride, you'd recognize this is the scene where Wesley and Buttercup go off in their own directions. And this is my husband's favorite scene in this movie. And he, years ago, ran screen grabbed from the movie through Pick to Pat, and I created this for him. It took a really long time. I was supposed to be writing a huge paper, and instead spent a lot of time working on this. And it has been framed and on our wall ever since.
Nice.
It's very dark.
It is a lot of colors. It's very dark. There are things about it when I look at it that I absolutely, you see the flaws, you see your own problems, but I think we're always more critical of our own work.
Oh yeah.
So
Beautiful.
it's done on Ada. And I'm no longer a big Ada user, but I think Ada works really well for full coverage pieces.
Yes, I agree.
And I think maybe size-wise, it's probably a comparison to the smaller Hades that are out there.
90 colors, right?
Yeah, I think there's
Wow,
90
a lot of
colors in
colors.
this. So.
Wasn't that wonderful, guys?
Yeah, I like the black one with the borders because they're kind of different.
Amazing.
So
Amazing.
what's super cool about that one is that, well, I mean, I don't know if it's super cool. I had originally wanted to do a light fabric for that. And I have a friend who's my biggest enabler.
Oh, I love that.
I don't
It's
know
gonna
if you
be-
know her. Her name's Tammy.
Yeah.
And
You may see her soon.
She pulled a shadow from Picture This Plus, which was the opposite of the direction that I was hoping to go. And then I was afraid that I was going to change the finished product too much, so I actually stitched that one in reverse.
I love the reverse.
Yes.
So that weird edge that you're talking about, the sort of top edge that's jagged, that's all because I had to back stitch that edge to not lose it.
I still think it's cool.
So,
Yeah, beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful stuff.
And she gave it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Guess what? I got room in my closet. You can hang it in my closet.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Crazy. All right. So let's work on whips. What are you whipping? Gary Holvatter.
Well, I'm still on target, as they say.
Yes,
I've
you
been
are.
whipping Rosewood Manor Autumn Quaker since the last video.
Yes. All he has left to do, I don't have a pointer, is this section.
Yeah.
Nice.
So almost made it.
My God, it is
And
beautiful.
wait a minute, EJ, since you took my plan, since I don't have my plan,
You have your plan?
I printed another one. But
I
anyway,
have
I
your
don't know.
plan.
So when is this supposed to be due? When I start the next project? Am I on
His plan
target?
is right here.
Am I on schedule?
Hold on. His plans are right here.
I think
I put a check mark next to Burberry. And you are due to
Start
stitch
Winter Quaker on what day?
on the 14th.
You mean-
So he has 2 more days, right?
Today's the 10th, right?
Today's the 11th, sir.
Is it the 11th?
The 11th, yeah.
So I have 3 days.
I mean, are you verifying the date?
Look, what's the definition of is? All right.
Yes.
So I have a long time to finish this.
So I have a question for you about
Yeah.
that. So there's a spot down in the bottom, that empty spot, where you're supposed to put an initial.
Right.
How do you decide which initial you're going to put in?
I always put H
For the last name, right?
for my last name, and also it could mean Halloween. So it's a win-win.
Of course.
So I was like, no, that's for Halloween.
So yeah.
Okay.
So this is Halloween Quaker. So you're on target, sir.
Pretty
Good job.
soon when it's finished, it's going to be Ghost Quaker.
Ooh,
Yeah.
because
Disappear.
gone.
Yep.
Oh wait, which is your favorite motif?
Favorite motif?
Yes.
Wow, there's so many. I think actually this one right here, the more I think about it, was this one down here. And this was my second one.
Oh, that's pretty.
Because it's got all the colors in there.
That
But
BAPS
now on
paint
camera, I
was
kind of like that. The look at that one. But this one was fun to stitch.
Look at the
Nice.
one you disliked on the camera. That's pretty cool.
The one I don't care much for is this. I'm going to turn it upside down. Was this first one right here.
Why?
But it
Because
still looks
it
cool.
went across, was it like 3 pages? The thing just never ended. and I'm like, because I was working one page, I was working one page at a time.
It's that one.
Yeah, I was working one page at a time, and it's like, I don't want to end with the die, so it'd be like cut off. So I have to go back through my room and pull out the page, do that part, put it back, and then I'm with something else. And then I'm like, oh, I need the other page. So I go back in the room.
What
So
if
why wouldn't you
what if
work on that motif by itself and then work the
Because
rest of the page?
what I did is when I was on a page, if I picked up like the green,
Yeah.
I kind of did a color
Okay.
complete. If I could reach it, anything I didn't have to count to.
Yeah.
It was one stitch away. That's really not a count, but one stitch away, I was going to do that color next. So I might have was my own problem.
Sounds like a whole
Couldn't you
lot of
have
that.
stuck the pages together?
No, because it's got to be mobile. Because I stitched in my car.
Too much like right.
I stitched in my
70
car.
miles per hour.
That's
Yeah.
right. I stitched in the car. I stitched in the airport. I stitched in the plane. I stitched in the hotel. I stitched in the room. So I'm stitching.
Cool.
No finishes this week.
Oh shoot! I have a finish.
But did you have a start?
Yes.
No, we already
Or
did finish.
Oh, that was the start? No.
That was a finish.
Oh. She's
Oh
not
my
used-
goodness.
She's not used to having a finish, and I'm not used to not having a finish, so it's kind of, we swapped. Let's see how big this is.
What? You know what?
Don't you love those faces?
I'm done. This is my finish. It took me 6 days to complete.
Wow.
Yeah. This is Live, Laugh, Love by Lizzie Kate. And yes, I love it.
So how are you going to finish it?
I have absolutely no idea.
Could be a cute little long pillow.
Yes, it could be.
You put, was it that walnut shells and make it a pen pillow?
It would be a huge,
Why not?
huge pin pillow.
I mean,
It's super cute though.
Yeah.
I don't know. what
It
to
is
do with
cute.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
'cause-
that's my finish.
So this is
That was
your
my.
this is your new year, new
No,
start.
this is my New Year, new start.
Yeah.
So it's
So-
now your new year, new finish, and now you need a new year, new
new
start.
start. Yeah,
So-
correct. You see it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know what?
got it.
Let me clean it up.
Yes,
2020 first start, 2020 first finish.
correct.
All in one piece.
But now
New
she
year.
needs a new year, new start.
Yeah, I need a new one.
Oh well.
So yeah, so that was my finish. So back to whips. Gary showed his whips, the Autumn Quaker. Amy, your whips?
I brought a few.
Okay.
Told you, fast stitcher.
So I am currently working
A little
on
ADD.
the brand new. It goes this way. The
Is
brand
this the
new.
Peacock one? No.
Well, this one's not the Peacock. This
Oh.
is the
Linen.
Linens and Threads Mystery Sampler
For this year?
Sal for this year.
Okay.
They call it a Friendship Quaker Sal. It's the next in line from that Peacock that you just saw.
Oh, it's gonna be a
Yeah, but- well,
big piece.
It's going to be big.
Look.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty big. Because I was recognizing that butterfly is almost the same motif
Yeah.
as
It is the same butterfly.
Okay, all right. 'cause
That
I was like,
dang
what?
butterfly. I never wanted to see another one of those
Really?
butterflies. I had to do, 26 of them
Oh,
over the
because it's
winter
around the border.
time, around that
That's
border.
beautiful.
And then here's another one.
Wait, what is the name of the?
So the
What's the floss?
Yeah,
It's like
the
a pink and yellow.
floss is Silks for You. It is, I don't remember the number off the top of my head. Maybe we'll insert it. I have it written down.
Okay.
Do you
Guess
know the
what?
name of the fabric?
The
The
number.
fabric is a 32 count country French linen.
Okay.
Um,
This is like a Wiltshire, no?
I think it is. I think
Witch
it's from
Hilt.
Witch Hilt.
Witch Hilt?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
like one of the ones that they normally call for like the mermaids and stuff.
Yeah. Cool. So this is my first time stitching with the silks.
Oh.
How you like it?
It has been terrifying. So you buy the silks and you buy the full hank.
Yeah.
It's a lot of floss.
Mm-hmm.
And they sort of come twisted up and like wrapped into each other.
And
Mhm.
tied.
And when you open it up, it's this giant ring.
Mm-hmm.
And then how do you manage that much floss? Do you bobbinate it? Do you put it on some type of spindle? What do you do? And then my thought was, I just spent all this money on this. If I cut it in the wrong place, I don't want to waste it. And so I went through like this crazy anxiety of like, what am I supposed to do? So I found a couple of tutorials and
baby.
I cut it and braided it, and it's been great.
I saw, what was it? I'm not sure who it was, but someone had did it like the knitters do. They made it into what's called a cake. Yeah, they made it into a cake. I'm like, oh, that was pretty cool. I can't remember who it was. I don't want to say it was the wrong.
But I know Letitia, the crafty curator, she did a tutorial on where to cut and how to manage that. It's huge.
And it's super soft.
Yes.
So it can separate easy, and you have to be really careful about burrs in the eye of your needle.
Yep.
But it's of course it's one stitch at a time. So, there's no cross country in it.
There was a tip that I'd heard recently also, is that on your needles, if you use Krynic or Petite Treasure braid on any of your needles, that needle should only be for that type of material afterwards, because that metal causes the burrs, so you don't want to switch it back into silk.
I never heard about that, but that makes sense.
I was like, oh, okay. I just normally toss it. Well, that's a problem.
Yeah.
It was.
So I also brought, while we're talking about the silks, I brought one more that I'm doing with the silks.
Ooh, I like this one.
Beautiful.
Look at this color. I'm gonna show this way so you can still see my face over it.
That's just the beginning border of it. This is the next year.
He's such an ass.
Language. But she's talking. It's like a embodied voice,
That's
you know.
So this is.
See, aren't you glad we didn't put you in the middle?
Yes. Yes, but now I'm afraid I might have to separate. So this is the companion piece to the bird sampler, the band.
Oh, they're really
sampler
bad.
that I just showed you.
Yes.
This is the next year's. So again, it's another mystery sampler. You don't know what it's supposed to be. This one's supposed to be animals. This one, she releases about 22 lines in a row. It's by Magical Sal's.
Okay.
She has a Facebook group, Magical Sal's. It comes off of her blog.
Okay. It'll be linked.
Yeah,
We'll
I'll give you guys the link. And this one's supposed to be animals, and it's going to be in that band style again.
Nice.
Okay. You don't know much about it going in, but you can see her previous work is available on her website. So
you kind of like not knowing what you're stitching.
She likes doing band.
I just like to stitch.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I like big pieces.
Because I've done a couple of mystery things, and then I don't stitch them until it all comes out.
Okay.
So I'm like, I can't put the stitch in. I'm afraid. What if I don't like it? I don't put too much time in it, and then it gets down to the third page. I'm like, ooh, that was stupid.
Yeah.
So.
And I think that's a fear that a lot of people have.
Yeah.
Which, for me, was part of the reason that I wanted to show the ones from last year, because you're making a big commitment when you're joining Sal.
They're monsters.
They're big pieces. They're time consuming.
Yeah.
They
cost
financially.
money. Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on what you put in it, or they could be on the cheap. I mean, it's
you can always do things.
You're picking all your
cheap
supplies, so and they still look gorgeous in DMCs.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I love the colorway, and that's the silks for you as well.
And it's all one color.
Yeah.
That is one thread, and I have the extras, so I don't like to cut threads if I know I'm going to continue.
Yeah. So you have 3, so you don't work one at a time?
Well, I do, but because of the variegation in this, and because it's sort of like this weird check pattern, I've been working the bottoms with one thread and then the tops with another to try to make that blending a little bit more seamless.
Oh, wow.
And I think it's working.
It looks great.
It does. It looks good. In the middle.
Wow. I think halfway through I'd forget what I was doing.
And then that weird stitching right in the center is just for me to have my count.
So this is just that's for the little diamond in the middle?
Yep.
Okay. So that's one thread in the middle. She's only doing the diamond, center diamond. Wow.
That's good. That's
cool.
smart.
Oh, you really
think about it.
Break down the pattern.
Yeah. Well, I like to conserve the floss too, so that's kind of important to me.
I'll show you the one floss that I'm glad it's not in the last part of it. On the Autumn Quaker, I had like 2 pieces this long.
The Autumn Quakers was terrifying.
I think it's 5'10". I was like,
terrifying cross.
But some of the other colors looked like I barely touched them.
It was like, what is it, extreme sports, where like you're always afraid you're gonna die?
Yeah.
It was like extreme.
I was I've been keeping like pieces like this long. So I may have to do that, because there's a couple of floating single X's, and I could get like three single X's out of that, and I don't use a petite needle, so I'm really probably should go to a petite needle.
Yeah.
All right. So one of the things that I also, while we're talking about the Quakers, I brought the winter Quakers, and it's kind of in timeout right now.
She starts in the bottom, or where sometimes it's all.
I usually start in the bottom left, and that's because my mom and dad are left-handed.
Okay.
I'm right-handed, and I stitch kind of a combination of both.
Okay.
So I'm not really sure which direction I'm always going in. This one's in timeout right now. If you look really closely, you'll see that I put the stitches in and then I had to rip them out.
Oh, okay.
And then you can probably tell I put them back in and had to rip them out again. And possibly had to rip them out a third time.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But what I've learned with the Quakers is that I can use something called, have you heard of those Paco?
Yeah.
The Paco trays?
Yeah.
Because I'm so afraid that I'm going to run out of the thread, and because the thread is so expensive, I will thread a length about that long onto a needle. I'll do 1 or 2 stitches, whatever I have to do, and then I'll cut it off and park it without taking it off the needle.
Okay.
And then it's already threaded, it's already ready to go, and it seems like there's less waste at the end.
Okay.
So
I think I've been pretty good with preserving as much thread as I can on mine. And, yeah. And then there's a couple of colors I'm hoping will go with the spring and others. And I'm gonna, because the red is the same red in the autumn. So I'm just gonna keep using my other red that I've already used instead of opening up a new one.
Well, that makes sense.
Because of the cost.
There are a couple of colors that seem to
cross over.
overlap pretty well.
I think that'd be great.
So I have a couple more.
So
I feel like I brought a lot of stuff.
that's fine.
It's fine.
Well, it's the Amy showcase.
This is what you worked on today.
This is almost
And you
done.
just started it?
I started it like 2 hours ago.
Oh
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't.
Oh my gosh.
She fits right in. See, we got a whole bunch of people like this one at this cupboard where we stitch at.
So I started this one back in November and stitched on it for a couple of days and tucked it away. And I picked it up recently because I've been sick.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to have to do a lot of counting, something that was intricate that might require frogging.
This is a tight weave,
It's
isn't it?
Monaco.
It's a Monaco that I used a tutorial, the Priscilla's and Chelsea's
tea and
bacon
coffee
based
dye?
or tea bagging or
the coffee tea dye.
tea bag thing? Okay. I'm trying to learn something here.
This is a lie. It's it's coffee and tea dye.
Okay.
So
Nobody warned you, did they?
Wait. What was the designer? I'm trying to.
Okay. The designer is Little House Needleworks.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Okay. The fabric is a Monaco.
Yes.
I am just as bad at dyeing fabric as I am at cooking, and so
What's wrong with that? It's beautiful.
No, well, it shrunk.
Of
So
course,
it's supposed to be
shrink.
28 count, but I think it's more like 92 count.
Oh, wow.
It's really
So
tight weave.
What'd you do? Do
Well,
it twice or something?
No, I put it on the. I boiled the water.
Yeah.
I put the tea and the coffee in there.
Yeah.
I put the fabric in there.
You let it boil.
I fell asleep.
You may have overprocessed.
So yeah, and then you're supposed to take it out and put it in the oven.
Yeah.
So
You did that too?
well, you're supposed to do it.
But not go to sleep.
We're lucky this thing is not crispy like bacon.
So yeah, I mean,
It is kind of rough.
yeah, it's super coarse.
God.
Yeah.
But it goes well with the house. I think. Yeah.
I like
It's
it.
a lot of
Yeah.
brown.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
So.
Is this a monthly house or?
No,
Oh yeah, it's just a
It's
sunflower.
really
it's
pretty.
just a sunflower house.
Okay.
Yes.
It's cute. Running
Nice.
like sunflowers.
This one,
I love this one.
this one's in timeout right now.
Yeah.
Why?
All right, so she does just a little bit of stitching. So she gets a big board. She had a smaller board. Now we have to hide EJ.
Well, it actually goes
Go
the other
this way.
No, flip
This
it.
way?
Yep,
She
that's
starts
the
at the
bottom.
bottom.
Oh, that's right.
So now it's hiding me.
So
Perfect.
It's in timeout because I like to start 3 inches from the bottom and 3 inches from the left.
Yeah.
Okay. And I did that, but apparently I cut the fabric wrong. And so I have a feeling that when I finish, it's going to be about 1/4 of an inch from the right.
Oh.
And I am terrified that it's not all going to fit. And
Well,
so it's in
what
timeout
is
until I can
this?
handle
Is this
it.
another
This is
one
beautiful.
of your?
Is this Long Dog?
This is Northern Expressions Needleworks Spanish Diamonds. And it's originally done in blues, like 5 different shades of blues.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I wanted to give it more of a
Autumny look. Yeah.
autumny look. And so you can't really tell. There's a dark brown, there's a dark gray in here.
Okay.
There are 5 colors in here. And I was not originally going to use this light brown, but I had a dark green, but you couldn't tell the difference between the dark green and the dark brown and the dark gray.
Okay.
So I put it all in and then I ripped it all out. And then I went and got a light green and then I put all that in and I ripped it all out because it looked like a horrible 70s ski jacket.
Oh, okay.
And then I put in the brown. And
Is there
I
any
like
way
it
of
now.
counting over here to see count?
I counted and it looks like I'm looking at about 1/4 of an inch.
Oh.
Maybe 1/2 an inch.
If
A 1/2 an inch works, right?
yeah, talk to Kathy.
I
Talk
think
to Kathy because they can sew on fabric to
Okay.
frame it.
Well, is she even
But
going
she's
to
just gonna
frame
put
it?
it
I
in
know she's
the-
going to be in a closet.
and that's the other question is, do I worry about it so much or just finish it? Or you
I
know?
think you should finish it.
Because,
and then
well,
if you don't like it,
Because you don't put
you can still frame it, I think.
you don't put border. Oh, you do matting. Oh, not on all of them.
Not on all of them.
If you're not doing a matting, you don't need that much, and you can frame all the way up to the edge.
That's true.
So every little bit is going to help.
I've also seen people that fray the edges and instead of setting it behind a mat
Oh,
board,
like put 2 pieces
they
of
put
glass?
it on top of a mat board. And so that frayed edge shows on top of the mat board, kind of like
Ooh,
museum
and it'll
mats.
look like a
Ooh.
rug. It'll look like a nice
Yeah.
rug.
Oh, that
That's
would look
nice,
that would look cool because this is really tight stitching here.
Yeah.
And you could go all pretty close to
Yeah.
your stitching.
That's
So that's kind of where I'm at with that.
yeah.
Then you'd have to cut this side to match that side. Half inch.
But not
do
into
that. We do that.
Yeah. Okay.
So these are 2, and I said I really liked Little House Needleworks. This was a finish this week.
Okay.
But it's a finish.
1 of 3?
It's a finish. It's also a whip. It's 1 of 3. There's Over the Moon, Under the Sky,
And something with the stars.
and Beneath the Sun,
Something.
Under the
Let
Sun,
me see.
Into the Sun. I'm not entirely sure what it is.
Yeah.
It's on a 25 count fabric, on a 25
Mystery
count
felt?
even weave. Yeah, an even weave. And it's
That's
done.
25
That's 25?
Yeah, it's 2 over 2.
Okay.
And the stitches when I was
Oh.
working on it just looked so huge to me.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing it in the camera and it
Looks nice
looks
in the
pretty
camera.
good. It
Yeah.
doesn't look
Yeah.
as pixelated as it did when I was
Yeah.
working on it. But I'm going to do all 3 next to each other. And I'm hoping he's not watching the video. I'm hoping to give it to my husband for his birthday.
Oh.
All right. I'm not going
okay.
to show it anymore then.
Or maybe for Valentine's Day if I can finish it.
Oh,
Or
you
maybe
got,
next
you got
week.
plenty of time next
Yeah,
week.
I'll
you
give
do
it to him for
have
next
time.
week.
Yeah.
All 3 of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
And
So,
the last one.
and the last one, oh, you're doing the Chic Virtues?
I am doing sheep purchase.
Did you get the modification to make the?
I saw the modification and I didn't think I was talented enough to do that. Like
Oh,
I
it
really
was too
just
complicated
it
to
just
figure
seemed
out.
too much.
Okay.
So what I did is I liked the order that it's all set up. I really enjoyed the balance of the colors in the whole piece.
Yeah.
But for this one, I liked the idea of peace and love being red across the bottom. So I took the whole way that they had intended it to be laid out with 12 pieces and I flipped it.
Okay.
So this one that's here, over here on the bottom left, is supposed to be on the bottom right if you do it the way they had originally intended.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I think they're pretty cool. I'm not into sheep, but when I see it, I can kind of.
I hope not.
I mean, I appreciate the work.
Wait, so it's peace, love, and
So
some happiness, maybe?
Once you have peace and love, you got something.
I want to say it's maybe harmony or
Something like
that's
that.
ringing a bell, but it could just be like my years in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade writing peace, love, harmony on everything because that's what everybody did. So
I thought it was peace, love, and happiness. That was the thing.
could have been that too.
Yeah.
I don't know. We didn't write any of that stuff
Yeah.
back in our day.
Okay.
So what's next?
Woo, that's a lot of whips.
Did you do
So
any whips?
No, I don't have. I haven't finished. Remember?
One thing.
Hello.
We're both doing one thing. Good. That's why we have Amy, because we would have been a boring 5 minutes.
Yeah. Now it's, we're moving on to new starts. Whoop whoop. Amy, do you have a new start?
I have a couple future new starts, but I'm focusing on those right now.
Yeah, let's finish some. First.
Yeah. Gary, you have a new start?
No new starts?
Really?
For the
Why
month,
not?
no new starts planned in the plan.
But
for the month of January, there's no more new starts.
But you
Winter
have 3
Quaker,
days.
Winter Quaker is
You know what? I'm
next.
sorry?
So he still has 3 days to
I
work on
know.
Autumn Quakers. So
Yes.
if he finishes early, he could put a new start.
No.
in.
I'm following the plan. I could start winter early.
Oh, come on, dude. You can
And then at the end of the year, if there's extra days, that's where the stretch goal comes in.
stretch.
Remember, have Turkish Delight at the end of the year
That's
with,
right,
with, a
that
half,
was his-
with a half a day to finish it.
You gave yourself 1/2 day
Yeah.
for Turkish Delight.
Yeah.
He's nuts. So you're not gonna change your plans at all?
No,
Because somebody dared you.
I know.
Oh.
Carolyn Zook tried to dare me.
No, somebody else dared you on the comment.
Who was that? I read that comment and
Who
then
was
I
that?
just
To
bypassed.
stitch 31, to do Mania and to do like March Madness.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Yeah.
Really?
Was that
Which one's March
Jen Lee?
Madness?
31 days? No.
No, because she does March Madness.
31 new starts in 31
No.
days?
I'm kind of burnt out on new starts because of all the stitching, the 31 new starts in October I did, and then I did 19 new starts in May. So it was so much, I just couldn't do it anymore.
So Stitch Mania is supposed to be 31 starts.
No, it's
it
whatever the
depends.
year is.
Yeah, so
Oh.
2020 would be 20
So
new
I
starts.
do 20 new starts in May.
Yeah,
I do 31 new starts in March.
October,
No,
and-
March
And
Madness.
for March Madness.
and then
I do 31 Halloween starts
in
What are you
October.
talking about,
October.
right?
Yeah,
And then you do your
in your
flips at the
birthday
beginning
month,
of
you're
the
supposed to
year.
do,
What? You're supposed to do something?
of course,
No.
you're supposed to treat yourself on your birthday.
Oh, I was doing 31 days of buys last year, and I did.
That's 365 days of
Yeah.
buys.
Well, I do
But
that
you get an
too.
extra day to do that this year.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So that's why I might meet my goals. I do have haul. What else are we doing?
No, I have
Here's
I
the
have a new
start.
start.
We
guys.
asked you, and you said you've been doing one project.
You asked me for whips, dude. You don't remember?
No.
See? CRS?
Memory of... No, it's Memory of a Merman, and he's not even here. Halloween, Christmas is still up because we've been doing bags. If you guys look at the guy wrong page, they're
Oh,
like
those bags were
hotcakes.
flying today.
Yeah.
They are flying. They were like almost gone by 10 minutes.
I have a new start. This is Connie G Designs. It's called Victoriana. Right? It does. It is. Oh,
Oh wait,
Yeah, that's.
Pointer.
where?
I have to show the stitching.
Yeah, let's try. Wait,
Couldn't
hold on.
find
Let's
it.
fix it. Let's fix it. Let's
Couldn't
start
find
over.
any stitching.
Let's start over.
I was looking.
Wait, I have a new start. This is a Connie G design.
Isn't that gorgeous? Wow, she's an amazing stitcher.
Shut up. It's called
But you trying to be nice like it
It's
is.
Victoriana by Connie G. We're doing a in virtual stitchers. We're doing a Sal, the Connie G Sal, starting January 10th. I started today because I had to. Yeah.
What's it look like? What's the pattern look like?
If you look up, you'll see it.
Yes, we stapled it
Yeah.
just for you.
Oh, wait a minute. How did you guys get there so fast?
If you look up, it's yes. So it's black work or back stitch and full crosses. Oh, let me show you about the corner. So Amy was looking at it and she's like, "Oh, interesting."
Do not make me into the bad guy.
No,
on
you're
this.
not
I
the
feel
bad guy.
so bad.
You're
This
the
is to
good
me all
guy.
the time,
You're
so
the
I
good
just
guy.
have to do it.
Okay.
So she's looking at it. I don't know if you see it. You can't see it. I'm
No,
sure.
there's not enough stitching.
Yeah. She's like, "Oh, are you tweeting?" I'm like, "No." Why would you ask? I said, "I'm using the loop method." On Colores? No, ma'am. So I'm not taking this out.
So basically, yes, I am doing the tweeting method. Thank
No,
you very
no,
much.
I'm not.
You're gonna-
What we decided. This is a joint decision.
You could
That
do a
that these
restart.
4 corners, because it's the same
Motif.
motif,
Will
so
be
those
tweeted.
4 corners will be tweeted, and everything else will be no loop start.
What if that's your favorite part? And you should have done. I should have did the whole.
But the
thing.
way, what's cool is the way that it's tweeting.
It's
The
good.
the length that you took had to have been just right because This tweeting, if you look really carefully, has like a blue and a purple in it at the same time.
And the pink and light pink.
It's such a cool effect.
Well, the color.
I don't think I could
keep it up.
Yeah, I don't think I could mimic that. Is it mimic? Is that the word?
Yeah.
Reproduce that?
Consistent.
Yeah.
Consistent.
So I just lucked up with that. Okay. So only of those 4 corners, and I wrote myself a little note because I will forget.
Okay.
So thank you, Amy. If I can say thank you. Thank you, Amy. She's like,
So note to self, anything that's dye, you might not want to do the loop start.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything that has any variegations.
Yeah.
And I'm so used to doing the loop start. That's my go-to start. Haul time.
Haul? You got haul?
I don't have haul. I have Stitchy Kindness.
I don't know. It's more like a library action. Stitchy Kindness. Because I think you had to give up your soul to borrow this and then make sure it comes back pristine, right?
Yes. Okay. Oh my goodness.
Is it done yet?
So my friend, we're not going to mention any names because I didn't tell her I was going to mention her name. My friend let me borrow Emma Nettles 1636. I just love what it says.
Read it to us.
I just love what it says.
Because they can't read it. It's too small.
It says, Emma Nettles, she finally departed this life, Maggie 1636. It says, age at 74 and 6 days. The wages of sin is death. The wages of sin is death. She was paid well. And then it says, the one she loved most lies beneath the head post. The head post. Because I was reading it at the cover and we're like, oh, we could change that bit a whole time. Like the one she loved the most, he lies beneath the bedpost. So,
but it's this thing about this sin.
And so I'm thinking beneath the rose bush like they do all the serial killers do.
So I love it. I'm going to make sure it's nice and it stays nice.
Yeah, it's twice in plastic.
It stays in plastic. It stays in plastic. It's going to be well taken care of.
And that's by who?
By Plum Street.
So this is their old packaging. So this is
out of print.
Old.
This is out of print. Yes.
Are we sure
it's out of print? Have a date on it, or
it is out of print.
Okay. I don't know.
No date.
No. It might be copyright on the inside.
Yes.
On the inside.
Yes.
Yeah.
But thank you. Yeah. You know who you are. Thank you, love. Thank you. That's it for me.
Oh, I got haul.
Yeah, you got haul.
I was on the Color and Cotton because I had to update my email and everything, and I got a couple of their grab bags. They're 9x13 grab bags. It's still plastic.
This is
hot
my
off the press.
Color.
Look, I think she knows me. Red, green,
orange.
Look at this. Look,
what's that?
Gary.
Look how bright.
Why didn't you wear your shirt?
Because I had a green shirt on last week, and I wanted to give everybody a frog. Happy stitching.
So mean.
I put the frog out in the universe, and then I got the neutrals. I use these for my the neutrals I'm going to use for my blackbird stockings.
Oh, let me see how big.
9x13. Perfect.
Oh, you said that?
Yeah.
This is really good.
I love this color. But you don't get to choose the color or the size. You either pick linen or even weave or Ada. And the linen packet is from 28 to 40. So there's a pretty wide range.
Yes.
But I mean, her stuff is so easy to stitch on.
Wow, that's just beautiful.
And then this morning before the sale, I pulled out my money and I got my poodle bag. Look at that.
Congratulations on your poodle bag.
Yeah. I've been looking for maybe 2 years before I even started for the perfect standard poodle fabric. It didn't look like really weird.
It's like ginger.
Right here, right there.
Oh my gosh.
She's looking at me. That's the look Ginger gives me all the time. The brown one right there. And then I got this one is not for sale. This was the only one because this was all the fabric we'd ever buy. And look up McKenna if you're watching. My fabric got made into a bag. Got that woman on the staircase. Got the bats up in the moon. Where's the woman in the staircase? Creepy woman in the staircase. Look at that. I know a couple of those ladies.
What's super cool about this one is the way that the pattern lines up.
It almost lines up, but it's still just a little off. I know, isn't that perfect?
Oh my gosh.
That's cool. There's some blue in there.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And then my other haul was I officially got into dying to stitch.
What's that?
Their berry club.
Okay.
It's on their website.
Okay.
It's linked below.
Yeah. I was like, I've been waiting
Oh my gosh.
for a year and a half
Oh
to
my
get in
goodness.
because I missed it last year. And I said, oh, berries. So then I started buying all the berries, and then I found out they get exclusive berries only for the clubs, and then everyone's showing it. I'm like, oh, berries.
You're a berry monster.
And I've been, because she's allergic, so I can get berries.
Yeah.
And it's so like I'm in this year. I can't wait. Can't wait till the first one comes in because we know they only take 3 days to stitch.
Yes. Gary takes 3 days to stitch it.
So you're gonna have 3 days left over with Autumn Quaker.
Oh, boom.
Right,
Perfect.
I could do it if it comes in
There you
time.
go.
Yeah.
So
Amy?
I have a little bit of haul. I have acquired miraculously
Ooh.
what is that?
Twinkle Twinkle.
Isn't that a cool pattern?
I saw somebody, I don't remember who, I saw somebody created this, and it was just so spectacular. I had to screen grab it and just kept looking at it. And I was looking at the stitching, not the people holding the stitching, obviously.
What?
But we went and looked at the real thing, the stitching.
Oh my
not
goodness!
the real people.
I have to tell you that when I saw the stitching in person, it sparkles and glitters in a way that a video camera or a picture would have never been able to capture.
And when we saw this in person at Galleria, I just have to keep saying it because Karen she's pretty cool at marketing. She's pretty crafty. You know those little micro lights?
The twinkle lights.
Little twinkle lights.
Yeah.
She had it draped slightly in front of it so it sparkled off and it's high luster. The metallic is like high luster. So it looked really sparkly. It's just plain white even weave. There's nothing special. And I think just keep it simple and the threads do all the work.
It doesn't look, there's nothing plain about it.
No.
It is
Yeah.
just spectacular.
Yes.
I also got a couple fabrics. So I've got another long dog that I'm working on kitting up, and I found this. It's Picture This Plus Dilemma.
Dilemma. Ooh.
Is Dilemma? Is that new?
Oh no, I'm sorry. It is
No.
Picture This Plus
Mystic.
Mystic for the long dog dilemma.
Correct.
My bad.
Okay.
16 by 9 Dilemma.
Yeah.
Do you know what what thread you're gonna use on that?
I think I'm gonna get a silks for you.
Light.
Like blue, green,
Probably gray.
Gray.
Grays.
Look at that
maybe
color.
something lighter.
Oh my god, that looks
Really
amazing.
good.
Yeah.
And that's 36 count. No, I can't do 36 count for.
I don't
I've
know
got-
if I can do 36.
No, I mean
I'm
I
gonna
can
try.
I can stitch 36 count.
You
but
bought
the,
it.
But the piece I was thinking is
How is
I've got the Glendon Place Three Kings Nativity and the Old Shepherds. And this would have been. This looks like a perfect midnight sky.
Oh,
for that
it
kind
looks
of
Yeah.
so much.
But I
like
think
that.
they required to be on the 24 because of the 28 because of all the beading and metallic. It's like and back stitching, so that's why it's still there.
And
But that's pretty.
the last thing I want to show you, I joined a really cool Fabric of the Month club.
And we'll have that link below too because I'm like going to be all over this.
The name of this
Whoa.
club, it's done by somebody named Be Stitch Me. And this is her fabric from January. I also brought her fabric from December. She does two different Fabric of the Month clubs. One is a little bit more vibrant. The other is a little bit more neutral.
Is this
This is
more
the vibrant?
This is the more vibrant, yeah.
Nice.
But I know she's got it all ironed and everything. But look, if
It's
you just
okay.
fold it in half and use part of that, that's like perfect for one of those little Nora Corbett
Right.
flower pixies and stuff like that. And it doesn't look very dominating as a fabric now when you look at it like this. But when you look at the whole thing, you're like, that looks a little busy. But
Right.
actually, with the right piece, it'll look perfect.
Right. And just, I mean, they're
really nice.
they're remarkably reasonably priced.
Okay.
So I mean, you're looking anywhere from $15 to $25 for a fat quarter, which is really reasonable.
Yeah. And it's surged.
So-
It comes surged.
Yep, it comes surged, it comes ironed, it comes in plastic, it comes smelling nice, not
Nice.
overwhelming.
Yeah.
And it's just
And it's tagged.
her stuff is beautiful. And she's
Is-
got amazing customer service.
Is
too.
she repeating colors or it's like one of a kind?
No, I think she's repeating colors, and then when she's finding that people are liking things in her Fabric of the Month club, she's then repeating them.
Okay, good.
So she's on Instagram too.
That's good to know.
But I think she has a
Under
website.
Be Stitch Me. Be Stitch Me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love this.
So
That's pretty.
That's
So-
it?
What?
That's all?
No haul? Announcements?
I have showed you.
Announcements?
He doesn't listen. He just tunes me out.
Oh.
Alright.
I didn't have a board in front of me.
Announcements. I have none. Oh yes, I do. There's a cruise, you know.
can I make the sound?
Go ahead.
Am I supposed to make it? You want to make the sound again? You ready?
Do it again. All right, perfect.
Alright. Oh yes, the cruise.
Okay.
Well, it's the end of July, coming back August 2nd.
Okay.
We're going to Western Caribbean or Caribbean, depending on who you're talking to. Yeah. We're going to Honduras, Belize, Mexico, and yeah, we have a couple of Stitches Sea days too.
I don't know. I'm just going to Stitch.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so yes, there's a cruise. There's more information down below in the description box. Call Lisette, let her know you're interested. We can't wait to see everyone who's going. We're always talking about it over Virtual Stitchers.
How is Virtual Stitchers?
It's wonderful.
I haven't been recently.
Is that where you have the homework?
No, that's Magical Stitches.
Oh, okay.
And that's Semi-Sane and Whip Go. And all of those is linked below. Yeah, so next.
I have an announcement.
Go ahead.
We released the sign up for the Spring Quaker bag, and we sold out. So
Nice.
We have everybody on the list that we gave a number to. You either have a number or you're in group 2 with a number. You know who you are.
Okay.
And so in probably about 3 weeks, we're going to run about 3 weeks to get the bags together, and once they're all made, then we'll start sending out. He'll post a notice that say, hey, we're going to send invoices out in a couple of days, blah, 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 and then we'll send them out. And then once you pay, then they ship the same day.
I'm super excited about that bag.
I love mine. I already got mine.
Fire. I like that bag.
It's beautiful.
It's cool.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. And
Amy, do you have any announcements?
Got nothing.
Okay.
I got nothing.
I'm hoping
Alright.
you announce your new floss tube.
No, definitely not.
Did you come up with a name for your floss tube?
She said the same thing.
Oh yeah, Zippy
Same
Zaps.
thing.
Probably the same.
The same
But
stitcher.
I don't see myself doing it.
Good.
Yeah. It's okay. We'll have you back a couple more times.
Yeah,
I'll come back.
Yes.
Come back.
And bring your whips so we can see it done, because they'll all be done. Yeah,
Yeah.
No.
pretty darn close. All right, guys. Don't forget.
No matter where you are, the sun is always shining when you're stitching. Bye.
Do 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 do.